Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for joining me. I tell you what, I don't know what that sort of music was, but it was a bit strange. But I think it was something to do with, rock and roll or something. Well, I never heard of that music before. Anyway, um, I kind of like, I was just listening to it, kind of thinking, yeah. Anyway, good evening, guys. And if you are, if you want to leave any messages, please do it on the left hand side. If you're on the radio, if you're listening, and if you're on the podcast and you're watching, please make sure you do it on the right hand side. So easy, guys, isn't it? So easy. But people do get it mixed up. Anyway, we got Sat tonight. Hello, Sat. How are you?
How are you, my friend? I'm fantastic, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining me on a Saturday. Some people will go out and probably done the pub and have a few pints, but so anyway, tell everybody what you do.
So I'm an author. I'm I've just launched out my mindset and resilience coaching program called Power Up, and I am also a speaker. So I've done a lot of public speaking. I'm basically sharing my stories of resilience to a lot of people, both on social media. I've appeared on radio. I've appeared on TV. I've done talks at business opportunity meetings. I'm basically just sharing my stories of resilience to help other people spark their resilience. I'm also a black belt martial artist. I've been in martial arts for 30 years. I've got a black belt in karate and black belt in jiu-jitsu. So through that, I've developed a lot of discipline and dedication to whatever cause I actually put out there.
Okay, great, brilliant, very good. Because your book was Amazon bestseller, wasn't it?
Correct, yes. So I launched the book on the 25th of February 2020. And within 4 weeks, just 4 weeks, it became an Amazon bestseller. And it's such a fantastic achievement. And the most powerful thing about the book wasn't necessarily the fact that it wasn't just the fact that I launched the book, but it was my journey to launching that book. And this is a very powerful resilience story because uh, on January, only sort of 6 weeks prior to that, I had a very painful um, out of the blue split with a woman I love so dearly. We was together for 2.5 years, and it really put me in the lowest point of my life. I actually had dark suicidal thoughts. I was that depressed and low about it because of the connection that we had and how suddenly, due to health issues beyond both our control, she suddenly turned heel. But I had to sort of sit down and say, do I fight or do I run? And for me, being resilient is all about standing up and fighting. So only 4 days after feeling at my lowest point, I then said, right, I've got my front covers finalized, and I just said to everybody, here's my front cover of my book. I'm delighted to introduce my book. Then obviously, in between that and the 5 weeks up to launch, I took 100 pre-orders for that book, which is stellar. And then when I did the launch live in London, I took a further 20 orders. So between the moment I revealed the book and up to and including the launch, I took 120 pre-orders of that book. And obviously within 4 weeks, it became an Amazon bestseller. So for me, it's one of the most amazing comeback stories I've ever created. And that's really the thing. You become what you think. So whatever you feel now, let that just be a start of an amazing story. And then whatever you want to happen, you have it in your mind to create the story that you want. And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, and also you are a mindset coach as well, aren't you?
Yes, my mindset coach. I've only just launched the mindset and resilience program, so I'm kind of just starting out in that respect. But the fact that I'm an author has given me a lot of credibility. So what I through this program, which is called Power Up, I want to give everybody the gifts that I sort of grew myself to actually get me through my life challenges. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to working with people on that.
And the power up is all about confidence. Is that right?
It is. It's basically all about your comeback story. So the idea is you will have suffered an adversity, that has really knocked your confidence big time. So you're on the floor and you just don't know where to go because you're overwhelmed with a lot of emotion. You have anxiety, so you kind of know where you want to go, but you have anxieties about taking that action, and those anxieties are causing you to sort of doubt yourself. And you've also been in a situation where you've had these big dreams, but then as soon as you start doing them, you've had friends and family ridicule you and say, "Why are you doing that? You should give up because you're not capable of doing that." And because of that, you've lost your self-esteem. So the Power Up program is kind of it is a rekindling of a broken spirit to power up your mindset to sort of make you think more optimistic and give you that spark and resilience to really push forward with your goals.
Yeah, and because you kind of like with your power up, with your the power up. When are you kind of like how many people are on your program at the moment? And
Um,
if people do want to join your program, how do they?
right, so it's only just launched, and I am getting inquiries about it already. So basically, all you do is you go onto my website, www.satwindersagoo, which is my name, .com. Okay, and then you go into the coaching section, and the program is there. So I offer individual sessions, but I also offer full programs, which have a which are 5 weeks, 7 modules, and 9 modules, depending on which one suits you. Um, and obviously, with each one that you choose, you also get a free copy of my book, a free signed copy of my book, Unleash Your Inner Power. And you also get a free 30-hour session as well. So go onto my website, www.satwinder.com, under the coaching, and you'll find it there. You'll also find the link to purchase a copy of my book if you want an inspirational spark, because I have a lot of stories in there which a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah, and I was looking at a few days ago about how to never give up in life.
Yes,
Because you kind of like that was on one of your podcasts, wasn't it?
yes, yes.
Um, can you explain about that? About never giving up on life? When
Never.
because some of my listeners are probably thinking, "What's that all about?"
Yeah, so never giving up on life is basically staying true to the reason why you live. It's as simple as that. I want anybody who's listening, I want you to think for a moment, okay? I want you to think of a moment in your life that has really brought you down to your knees. So it could be a painful split up, it could be the loss of a loved one, it could be financial issues, it could be somebody that's really put you down, you could have been bullied, um, anything along those lines that has really rocked your world in a very bad way and has put you to the ground to the point of saying to yourself, I don't know whether I can do this anymore, I don't know whether I can carry on, life's really bad, I've got no luck in life. I want you to think of it for a moment in your life that put you in there. Okay, now I want you to look at yourself right now and pay homage to the fact that no matter what, you are where you are today and everything that you've achieved right now. And I want you to look back at that time to where you are right now and ask yourself, how did I do that? How did I get from a point of not knowing where to go and not thinking that I've got good fortune in life to the fact that I'm happy now? And the reason why you've got there is simple. You had a purpose. You had a purpose, and that purpose of yours was so strong. And because that purpose was so strong, even through the sands, the quicksands of despair and the mud of adversity, you still managed to pull yourself through. And that's no easy thing to do. And there's a lot of people out there that struggle to sort of find where to go. But when you keep on going, even when you're wounded, that is what you call not giving up. You keep going and you keep staying true to the person that you are. You stay true to your morals and values, even when you feel at your worst. And that is a big reason why I launched my Power Up program, because a lot of people are going to be down on the ground, particularly with the latest pandemic that we've had, which
Yeah.
would have caused a lot of adversity, a lot of negative emotional feelings. And that is why I've launched the Power Up program, because it gives me an opportunity to take people on the journey that I've been on, and to enable them to see a vision from the lowest point and say, "Do you know what, I can do this," and then come back stronger. So that's what never giving up is. It's staying true to you and keeping on, even when you feel you can't go on.
Good, good. I've got a site on Facebook called Never Give Up, and I've been through some tough times, and yeah, we all need that. Um, Also, I found out something as well. Well, you know, your website's all based about like a superhero. Who's your superhero?
Um, well, this is a interesting question, because when I was a kid, um, my mum took me to the cinema to watch Superman: The Quest for Peace. You'll probably be familiar with that. And then after the film, she asked me, "So, what do you want to do when you get older? When you grow up, with work?" And I goes, "I want to be Superman. I want to fly around the world and save people." And it's a coincidence that when I actually went to junior school, I used to fly around the playground with my coat tied behind my back and fly around like Superman. I don't know whether you remember the days when the drink spinners came out, the Coca-Cola Fanta Sprite yo-yos, if you remember them.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they were the buzzword at the time, and I was doing all these fancy tricks, and everybody was coming to me saying, "So how do you do that?" And I was showing them. So I was like their superhero, because they was then starting to learn the tricks I was doing, and they was like, "Oh, he's the best in the school," and they really wanted to see me. I actually did a demonstration assembly as well, and they was like, "Wow, he's amazing." So what they did was, the teachers got so intrigued by this, they did a school assembly where I'm Superman, and I teach my students how to fly. So from childhood, I was all Superman and comic heroes, but then we get into things like video games. And I must say, one of my biggest influences is from Mortal Kombat, because of the martial arts connection. And you probably see from my website, and you've probably seen the copy and book. I've got Thunder, and I've got a big influence from Raiden, who's a Thunder God in Mortal Kombat. The reason being is he's a martial artist. He's got lightning. I've got lightning because lightning is my favorite sort of energy source.
Yeah.
And when I show lightning, I feel I'm giving power to the audience to help them. I'm giving them my power of positivity to them, to enable them to be positive themselves. Um, and also the authenticity. I want to stand out in a special way, because Superman saves the world as Superman dressed up in his costume. He doesn't save the world as Clark Kent. And Batman saves the world in his Batsuit, not as Bruce Wayne. So I said to myself, instead of taking conventional photos of people dressed up smart and smiling, I wanted to be different. I wanted to stand out as the superhero. I wanted to be the guy and say, "Look, I'm here to help you save, not just to save your world, but to help you become your own superhero and save your world as well." Because our adversities, and I've always said this, our biggest setbacks always become the start of our most amazing comebacks. And when we have those setbacks, we have a special kind of vulnerability that when we share with the world, they connect with us and they say, "I went through that." And they then feel inspired to go through their own problems, because they've seen you go through yours. And for me, that's being a superhero, because what you're doing is you are giving light to broken spirits, you're giving light to broken souls, and because they're getting that from you, that is giving them a new leash of life. And it's like the superhero; they feel defeated. They're coming up against the arch nemesis, and just when you think they're defeated, they come back and they fight, and against all odds, they triumph. And brings me back to the point of not giving up. It's all about you fighting for your goals, fighting for your freedom, fighting for your happiness, even when you are against the odds. It's about being a yes citizen in a no society.
Great, great. Well said. Um, let's look at your courses because you do a lot of on your website. You've got courses. You've got a taster. You've got a power program, power up program, and so what will happen? So tell us the procedure. So if someone wanted to join your program, right?
Yeah.
What do they need to do?
Okay. So you go onto the coaching website. You just decide the program that you want to start with. So if you want to just dip your toes in, you can try one of the taster sessions for £75 each. Um, because I appreciate that not everybody's going to go straight in. I appreciate that I need to sort of, you need to get to know me first. And I'm like everybody else. You wouldn't just part with your money straight away without knowing that person's got credibility, even though I've got a book. But all you do is you select the one that you want. Um, and the power up programs themselves are fully comprehensive. So they take you, basically, the idea is you've got your current story as it is right now, and we work through things like mindset, your sort of awareness, your sort of motivation levels, and then we create your new story at the end. So you click on you just sort of select the program that's convenient for you. You click the link, and then it takes you to the payment option. Once it takes you to the payment option, you've selected what you wanted, and you just click and pay. And then once you've done that, I'll send you a welcome pack, and then I'll arrange with you convenient times for you to sort of have a Zoom call with me to go through this and just to get a full understanding of where you're at and what you want to focus on, and then we just go from there.
Great. Oh, brilliant. Really, really good. I tell you what, I'd love you to come back and talk to me about your martial arts
Yeah,
um, another time because that's a big thing what we do on here
yeah,
too because we it's all about helping people on here and also about mental health and uh,
absolutely.
all sorts of things. But thank you very much for coming on tonight.
Well, I've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, and it's nice to have you, and it's really good. I love your website. I think
Thank you.
your motivation is clearly to be seen by everybody, and what we do when if we get you back again, what we'll do, we'll get the audience to ask you some questions too.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. I'd love to.
Okay, I'll get my wife onto it now to book you in again. But thank you
Yeah.
very much, Sat. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Cheers.